Hello. This is going to be the second mini recording for Module 4, Introduction to Child Development. And this time we are looking at the overview of developmental theories. Okay, so what are the developmental theories? The developmental theories are sort of an explanation of the changes in a child due to the interaction between the growth and learning. So you'll see that's the interaction of two factors. So what is a growth? So growth is basically the biological maturation, the nature part. And the learning referred to the nurture is the environmental experiences. So you may remember in a class we talked about the wild children. When the children unfortunately got abandoned in the forest, in the wild, although the children had the biological maturation, but without the human environmental experiences, these children didn't really grow up to be very normal human beings. So you'll see that nurture and nature have to work together. Then, again, why should we learn about the developmental theories? So, the main purpose for us as educators is to best support and promote children's healthy development through doing the right things at the right time for our children. Okay. So, how do we call this? We use DAP. This abbreviation refer to, okay, try to pause the slide if you need to and see if you can remember what does DAP stand for. Okay, so D stand for developmentally, A stand for appropriate, and P stand for practice. So the programs that we offer to the children should be just right to support and promote their development. That is DAP, developmentally appropriate practice. Okay, now we're going to come to the meat part of this recording, developmental theories and their founders. Some psychologists are focused more on the biological factors. Can you remember who I'm going to talk about? Remember him? Remember the video clips that we watched together in a class? Who's that? He was the one that did lots of trial observation, experiments, and he really inspired lots of psychologists later on. So his name is Arnold Gazelle, and his theory is called maturation theory, and he focused on the inborn capacity for growth and development. Okay, let's get to the second one now. These psychologists emphasized on the environmental experiences. Who am I going to talk about? Anyone still remember the little Albert experiment that we watched together? Poor little Albert. Remember him? So, what we are saying is the behaviorist theory. So you're going to see two names. Remember John Watson, who actually did the little Albert experiment, and he thought that the experience actually could determine who the child will grow up into. Okay, but for the behavioral theory, the focus in this module will be B.F. Skinner, who developed the theory of operant conditioning, and help us to understand the functions of reinforcement and punishment. If you recall what we did in a class, we had the activity to talk about the praise, the rewards, and different kind of punishments we had used on our children. Okay, move on to the other third one. Anyone recognize this gentleman? He's really the big guy in the child psychology, and his theory is the cognitive theory. Ring a bell? Who's that? Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget was clearly interested in how children think and learn. So, and that's about cognitive. When we say cognition, we are talking about the children's understanding, their thinking, and learning of the world, and as well as the language development. Okay, going to the other fourth type. So some psychologists tend to focus more on the individual personality development. So who am I going to talk about? You already see the other clue here. Psychoanalytical or psychosexual theory. Who developed this theory? Sigmund Freud. Okay. His personality development actually included oral, anal, phallic, latent, and genital stages, 5 stages. Okay. But his theory is not really required in this course. But we have another important figure coming out. Okay, this psychology developed the psychosocial theory. Still explained about how individual actually constructs their personality in a lifetime. So we have Erik Erikson, who actually received the training from Sigmund Freud's daughter, Anna Freud. And he studied how human beings build their sense of identity in different life crisis phases. And we will have a mini recording just for Erik Erikson because his theory is very important throughout this course. Okay, the last 2 theories. Some psychologists realize the importance of social cultural impact. Okay, so we are going to introduce 2 Jewish psychologists, and they are really brilliant. Okay, the first one's theory is called social cultural theory. Do you remember his name? Lev Vygotsky. So Lev Vygotsky found out that different languages, cultures, and societies will influence child development. Okay, so even like we just look at the other theory's name, we'll see, oh, here there's a society, social, and here cultural. That means culture, right? Then there's another one, ecological theory, that developed by Urim Braun van Brenner, and he discovered how children grew up and developed in different social systems, which including the elements of a family, community, society, and culture. Okay, so if we take a look at our module 3, the module 3 we're talking about child, family, and community, and you'll see that's already the systems. And systems mean that you see the individual will be at the core, and then that is their surrounding social systems, one after another, and we all grow up in the social systems. Okay, now you're probably gonna say, oh no, Ida, why you have taught so many theories? What should I do with all these theories? It's a mess. Yes, I have to admit I have introduced really a lot of developmental theories. So I did share with you in a class that psychology is a very young science, and in the history of psychology, many psychologists try their best to try to explain the human development or the child development. And if you remember the story that I shared in the class, the blind man and the elephant, that's the psychologists trying really to do their best in order to find out what is the human development. But human development is very complicated. So today, when we talk about the human development, we try to understand that we need to integrate many perspectives. So the first perspective will be evolutionary perspective. And you should remember that we talk about the Charles Darwin, the origins of species. Okay. Then we have Arnold Gazelle, and we talk about the biological perspective. Then Jean Piaget, cognitive perspective. We have Maslow, the hierarchy of needs, and that is a humanistic perspective. We also have Sigmund Freud and Eric Erikson, that their theories were about the personality, and that's a psychoanalytical perspective. The last but not least, we have both Vygotsky and Urim Braun van Brenner that took the social cultural perspective. Okay, and that's today's psychologists are called biopsychosocial model of understanding human development. Okay, so this mini recording is ended. Bye for now.